Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's challenge has been a long time coming. In today's video, I'm going to be reading my highest and lowest rated books according to Goodreads. So if you're not really sure how this works, Goodreads is an app and you can track your reading on there, you can put in the percentage of the book that you're reading, and it's just a good way to keep everything together. But every time a book is rated by someone, it goes towards the average rating. So for example, if loads of people rated it 4-star or above, it would obviously have a really high star rating, and obviously if it's more on the lower side of rating, it will be a lower star rated book. So I'm going to go on my want to read list on Goodreads and I'm going to see which one's the highest, which one's the lowest, and I'm going to read them both for you in this video and just see if everyone has the right opinion. Just to see if just because it's rated highly doesn't mean it's going to be good, and just because it's rated low doesn't mean it's going to be bad. Okay, so I'm just going to go onto Goodreads and check to see what my highest and lowest rated books are, what we're going to be reading for today's video. Want to read? So I've already put it into average rating, as you can see by the top there, and the most popular rated book is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm so scared to read that book, you would not even understand. It's one of them ones that have been so hyped up by Book Talk, so hyped up over on the book community, and I have been putting it off, to be quite honest with you, because of the hype and because of how popular it is. Fourth Wing has 421,957 ratings, and it is rated a 4.66 average. Oh my goodness. Let's check the lowest one. Okay, my lowest rated book is The Street by Susi Holliday, and that's rated averagely around 3.49, but it only has 1,227 ratings. So obviously you can see the difference in popularity, you can see the difference in just how much that Fourth Wing has blown up over on Book Talk. I don't have the physical copy of Fourth Wing, but I do have the physical copy of The Street, so I'm just going to go and grab it. I've got The Street, but I'm thinking of reading Fourth Wing on my Kindle because it's only out in hardback right now, so I'm thinking of getting it on my Kindle. So I'm going to have a little look on my Kindle now and download it. Fourth Wing is £12 on Kindle. £12 for an ebook? Absolutely not. That is terrible. I am not paying £12 for an ebook. There is absolutely no way. I'm going to have to go and buy the hardback, aren't I? I don't want it, but I'm going to have to. I'm going to go and head out and buy the hardback because £12 for an ebook is vile. This book better be good. I've never read a hardback with a dust jacket before. The only ever hardbacks I've read were the Girl Online series by Zoella, and they didn't have dust jackets. So this feels so weird to like be taking off right now. What do I do with it? I'm just gonna have to just chuck it away. Right, I'm so scared, but I'm gonna get this book started. Something I love in fantasy books is maps, and I feel like a lot of people just ignore them. But for some reason, before I read a fantasy book, I really like to get to know the world and stuff, so I actually do look at the map quite a bit. But that's just me. I know a lot of people don't, but I quite like it. It's in there for a reason. Why not have a look at it? I spent good money on this book. I'm getting every little thing out of it that I can. I love that so much. It says, the following text has been faithfully transcribed from whatever that fantasy word says into the modern language as if it's like a real story. That makes it seem so much more realistic. I love that so much. It's the famous quote, guys. There's a famous quote going around on TikTok, and it's like, a dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A rider without a dragon is dead. And that is the first thing on the first chapter. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, so I don't read a lot of fantasy. The only other fantasy I've read is the Harry Potter series and the first 2 books of the Avatar series. I haven't really been able to like have a valid opinion of fantasy because I don't read it enough. But I feel like most fantasy main characters, especially women, are always so weak and frail and little. But obviously that is a way to see their character development. If they were just strong from the start, it wouldn't seem like such a redemption. But literally I'm on page 2 and they're already like, she can't even carry her rucksack. She's so tiny. Come on. Like, I get it, but it is kind of annoying. I can't lie. She's met a friend. I hope Rhiannon stays nice. Okay, so I've just met Zayden, who is the main male love interest in this book, and obviously it's giving enemies to lovers. They're hating each other already, and I'm on page 19. Like, he will literally kill her. He better not hurt my girl Violet, because I'm on her team. Even though I already know I'm going to fall in love with this man. Let's be for real. Let's be so for real. I'm going to fall in love with this man so quick. Oh my god, right, I've just realised that I've had my rat sat on me this entire time. If you're wondering who he is, he's my favourite childhood toy. I've had him literally my entire life. So like, I'm just with him all the time anyway. He's just never been in a video before, so say hey to him. He's my bestie. And we're reading this together. Loving my life right now. If you wanted to read Fourth Wing, guys, leave him alone. I don't think he should endure the pain I'm going to feel by reading this book though. I might have to stop him from reading it. I need to stop. Whoa! Nearly stood on my dust jacket. That's not good. It is the next day now, and I'm not feeling well. Why is my voice going the minute I pick up the camera? Yeah, I'm not feeling 100%. I'm feeling a little bit coldy, a little bit snotty, not feeling great. I managed to get up to chapter 12 of Fourth Wing last night, which is page 142, which isn't bad, I will say. Based off of first impressions though, obviously, as I said before, the only other fantasy that I've read was the Harry Potter series, the first 2 books of the ACOTAR series, and now 140 pages of this. And I felt like the terminology was a little bit harder to understand. When I went into the ACOTAR series, I feel like I understood pretty much everything. Literally, there was nothing I had to Google. I felt like I was comfortable in the writing. I felt like it was really easy, and especially with the Harry Potter series as well, because it's like YA, it was just easy to understand. I just found that everything was explained in a way that would make me understand it. But I feel like with this one, the terminology at the start was a little bit confusing, but obviously if you are an avid fantasy reader, you probably won't struggle with that as much as me, but obviously because I'm like really new to it, I was a little bit confused with certain words. I had to Google certain things. There was like a certain word for like a canon. There was a certain word used for like a bridge thing that I had to Google, which is understandable. I mean, I'm new to the genre, but it didn't take away the enjoyment of the last 140 pages for me. I have really enjoyed the last 140 pages. There is one certain character that I'm getting quite bad vibes from right now, but obviously I cannot say who. They are a friend of Violet, the main character, and that's all I'm going to say for those of you that haven't read it, because I'm not about to spoil it for you guys, but I'm getting bad vibes from them. I don't know if it's going to be like a... Oh, I can't really say anything, can I? I'm not really sure if it's going to be like a Tamlin situation. If you know, you know. Or if I'm just reading too much into behaviour. They might be fine. They might be a good character. I'm just reading too much into it. So I don't know. I'm actually really unsure. But we will see further along into the book. I plan on reading a lot today because I'm not feeling too well. I'm just going to sit, chill, read for a little bit and just enjoy the day. I'm literally putting socks on so you don't see my feet in a minute. Oh god. So it's a little bit later on now, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm not feeling 100%. I'm feeling a little bit rough, and the weather has taken such a bad turn for the worst. It's literally thundering and lightning outside, which is perfect timing to open this bad boy. So the Oodie have kindly gifted me their coffee Oodie, and obviously I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm literally just going to put it on straight away because I'm so excited. Okay guys, I'm not lying to you when I say that this is literally the softest thing I've ever felt in my entire life. It's literally like wearing a cloud around me. But if you're interested in getting an Oodie for yourself or your loved one or even your dog, you can use code EllaRoseReads35 for £35 off your order. I'm going to leave the links to everything in the description along with my code as well if you wish to use it. Guys, I literally just want to point out how perfect this Oodie is right now. I don't think I'm ever going to take it off. I'm not even kidding. I am literally the happiest I've been in a while right now, and I'm going to get my book out, I'm going to sit and finish it, and I'm just going to sit all cozy and just enjoy myself because this is amazing. But if you don't know, these are like fleece hoodies, and obviously they're made to keep you warm in the winter and just the colder months. They do a range of plain ones and obviously really funky ones. There's some really cool patterns on there, so I definitely would recommend getting one because I am absolutely in my element right now. I'm literally just gonna sit cozy, finish my book. I'm gonna finish Fourth Wing today, and I'm just so happy. I'm the happiest I've been in forever. Look at me right now, guys. I'm in my element. I love this Oodie so much. But I did also just want to point out how grateful I am for Oodie for collaborating with me on this video and just sending me this because I'm so happy with it. I love it so much, and it is the softest, most silkiest, fluffiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I've only got 50 pages left of Fourth Wing. I'm scared, but I'm going to binge the last 50 now and finish this book. I don't think I'm ready for this. I feel like something big is about to happen. I feel like there's going to be like a big battle scene, something going on with the dragons, because that always happens at the end of like action films and like fantasy things. There's like always a big battle scene, so I'm nervous, but that is probably what I'm going to read now. I'm just going to sit and binge the last 50 pages because I'm so ready to just know what happens. Oh, I'm on page 481. If you know, you know. Oh my god. Oh my god. This man, I'm so in love with this man. I'm about to read the last page and I don't think I'm ready because I just need to know how this ends. I've heard that there's like a big plot twist or something right at the end just based off of like a TikTok that I've seen. So I'm gonna have to like cover it up just so I don't read the last couple of lines. Oh, I'm nervous. I think I know what's about to happen. I think I know. I knew it! I literally knew it from like the last line that was gonna happen. What? I literally guessed that like just the minute that something happened, like a sound effect happened, and I guessed it. Is that really how it ends? Is that actually how it ends? Because I'm not happy. I need more. I need the second book immediately. I've literally been sat here for the past 20 minutes deciding what I want to rate Fourth Wing. And that ending was crazy. I think I'm gonna go for a 4.5 star because I really did enjoy it, but it definitely wasn't a 5. I can 100% vouch for the people that are rating this a 5 star, and I can 100% see why people want to give it that high of a rating. It's some people's 6-star read, and I can 100% understand that. I feel like as someone that's new to fantasy, there's so much out there that I haven't explored yet. So I feel like this is only a 4.5 star for me, which is still very good. It's such a good rating. That is literally very near the top, but I can't give it any more than that. I feel like once I get into fantasy a little bit more, I'll find my likes and dislikes within the genre. As someone that is fairly new to it, I'm kind of just taking it as it comes. I'm not really criticising any fantasy at the moment, because with a romance book I can tell you what I like and what I don't like, whereas with fantasy, because I haven't read barely anything, I've barely even scraped the surface of it, so I'm like, I liked this a lot but I have nothing to compare it to. But I did thoroughly enjoy this book. As I said before, the ending was absolutely crazy. I highly recommend this if you are new to fantasy like myself. I found it really easy to read, other than the terminology being a little bit difficult at the start. Once I got into the story and once I sort of got to know the characters a little bit more and the world a little bit more, I found it really enjoyable, and I binged it within a few days, so that is a good sign. But it has put me in such a fantasy mood. Like, I literally just want to pick up the ACOTAR series now. I want to pick up book number 3 and I just want to binge that. However, I'm going to have a little break and read the next book for this video. But I'm not going to start it just yet. I'm going to go and chill for a little bit, go on my phone, have a little break, and then start the next book for this video, which is The Street by Susi Holliday. It's a little bit later on, I have bathed, my makeup is off, I'm in a cozy t-shirt. It is now time to start our next book because I'm in a really good reading mood today. I mean, I read quite a bit of Fourth Wing today and I'm still in the mood to read, so that is perfect. Obviously, as you know by now, our next book is The Street by Susi Holliday. It's quite a niche book in comparison to Fourth Wing. I thought I'd give you like a little summary from what I know the book is going to be about. So, it's about two characters called Peter and Anna, and they escape London because they just don't agree with living there anymore. They move to like this little rural, cutesy little street in Scotland, and obviously they think that their new life is going to be perfect. They're very happy to live on this cute little street, away from everything, away from the drama of their old life. So apparently Anna and Peter spend their first night in their new house celebrating with their new neighbours. They probably end up having a really good time because Anna, the main character in this, goes back to their house next door the next day to thank them for just welcoming them into the community, to only find that they don't exist. There is no one living next door. And apparently the people in the street are going to act a little bit shady about it. And obviously throughout the book we're going to see what happens, and I'm really intrigued actually just to figure everything out, because I'm like, how can you see someone one night and then the next day they be gone? Make that make sense, please. But I'm really excited. I mean, it's a fairly short book as well. I think it's literally like 280, 270 pages, so I'm excited to hopefully just have this as like a fast-paced quick read as well, because I've read a lot of romance, obviously. I've just read a fantasy, so I feel like it's only right to start a thriller right now. So this Goodreads challenge was perfect. The book is in third person. I don't even mind third person, but I need to know it before I go into it, whether it's third person or not, and I didn't know that. Oh, okay, so they've had to change their names as well. I'm literally on page 3, and I've already learned that Peter, the husband, his original name was Patrick. So it's close, but not the exact same. Good enough to not leave a trail. Anyway, I wonder what they did. Why do they need to change their names? That is kind of weird. What did you do? I cannot wait to find this out. Okay, she's literally, I'm on page 4. I'm apparently giving you an update every page, but she says, I hope we get to meet our new neighbours soon. Why is she so adamant to meet them? I mean, I know you want to meet your neighbours when you first move in, but why is that the first thing you think of? Unpack your boxes first, please. Okay, so I'm on chapter 2, and there's a different format of each chapter. So chapter 1 was a third person thing of Anna, who is obviously like the main character that we're following. And chapter 2 is like a text thread from all the people that live on the street, but Anna hasn't been CC'd into the text messages yet. So they're all just chatting away about her, saying like, oh, the new neighbours have moved in and stuff like that. And they're just talking about how gossipy the street is and just everything, and you're just sort of getting like a feel for the characters. Okay, and then chapter 3 goes back to Anna and just like the normal third person story. So I'm thinking that's going to be sort of like the format throughout it. You can see the other characters through the text messages and stuff. I'm really not liking her husband in this book. I feel like he's okay, but just certain things that he says to her, I'm like why? Go away. Like, even to the point where she's just shouted his name and he's gone, Christ, keep it down a bit, will ya? She can say what she wants to say, leave her alone. Men are rude. Okay, so I've just read up to chapter 12, which is page 62. Been reading for about an hour or so. I've just been introduced to another different point of view, like chapter thing. So obviously we have Anna, which is the main character in the third person thing. We obviously have the text messages that I spoke about previously, but now there's like an anonymous narrator chapter, and it's just the diary. That is so strange. So it's like a weird, cryptic, creepy diary, and we don't know who's writing it. So obviously it's written in diary form. It's like Dear Diary, but we don't know whose perspective it's from. It could be anyone's. I love it when thrillers use the killer's point of view in things. I love reading things from the murderer's point of view. So I'm really hoping that this diary thing is quite present in this book. I feel like it's going to make me enjoy it a lot more, and I feel like I'm just going to really enjoy these chapters. I don't know if that makes me a psycho, but I really enjoy getting into like the minds of the killers and stuff. I mean, I literally study criminal psychology. That might be why. I'm hoping this is a lot more present in the book. Oh, what? Okay, now I'm really confused. Something crazy has just happened. I'm around the 70-page mark, and then it's the next chapter, and now we're getting someone else's point of view. So obviously now we've got the main story, we've got the diary, we've got the text messages, and now on chapter 14 we get a fourth storyline, which is from 10 months earlier, from someone called Eve. Who the hell is Eve? And where does she fit into this story? I actually don't think I can keep track of this. I like it because it means that the story's fast-paced and there's always something to focus on. It's not slowing down. But I'm like, who is Eve? Who are you, babe? And where do you come from? Because I'm really confused. Can I just say, I feel so iconic right now. I've got this Oodie on, which has tea and coffee all over it, with a cup of tea and a book. Look at me. This is just incredible. I'm not just saying this. This Oodie is making this reading experience so much better. I feel so at ease. I feel so cozy right now. You would not even believe. Whoever's writing this diary is a freak. I'm now getting a chapter from Patrick, the husband's point of view from 3 years ago. I'm loving the pacing of this book. I'm loving that there's multiple things to focus on, but I can't even keep up with this. There is so much going on right now. Oh. Enjoying it though. It is good. So I've literally just sat and binged like over 50% of The Street, but I feel like it was because it's such a short book, it's obviously going to be fast paced because there needs to be a start, middle and end within that time period. I am thoroughly enjoying it. The one thing I will say though is one of the main plot points to do with the neighbours that I was telling you about, that sort of gets resolved within the first like 50% of the book. But obviously that means that things are going to progress into a newer storyline in the second half of the book. But I kind of liked that storyline, so I don't know how I'm going to feel about something that happens next. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm hoping that it stays sort of on the track that it's going because I am enjoying it so far. But I'm on around chapter 34 I believe, and I think I'm just going to call it a night right now. I read so much of Full Swing today and obviously over half of The Street, and that is amazing because obviously that is such a good reading day, but I'm so tired right now from just reading that long. I'm just like I just want to go to sleep. I might even sleep in this Oodie because why not? Literally never want to take it off. I'll see you in the morning. Night, guys. I'm literally just sat here with a cup of tea, finishing The Street, and I'm on page 229, which is chapter 45, so I think the book is around 270 pages, so I literally don't have long to go at all. So I'm literally just going to sit here, binge the rest of it, and then I'll give you my thoughts, my rating, and everything that happens. Not expecting that to happen. Okay, so I've literally just sat and binged the rest of The Street. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it yet. This book was marketed to me as a thriller, and of course I'm such a thriller lover. I feel like this book was more of a mystery, so I feel like if I knew that going into it I would have liked it a little bit more. I think I'm going to rate this book a 3.5 star because again I liked it, but normally when I read thrillers I'm gasping all the way through. I absolutely love the plot twists, the turns and everything, but I feel like with this book I didn't really get as many shock factor moments. 100% there were times where I was like ooh, or and stuff like that, but normally a book is filled with that. Whereas I think I only gasped like once or twice. I feel like I'm such a reactor when it comes to books. Like I'm very physical in the way I react. I'm sitting there giggling, I'm sitting there gasping, I'm sitting there like, oh my god. And I literally say my thoughts out loud when I'm reading. But I think I literally read the majority of the book just normally, which is fine. I did enjoy the book. It was definitely an interesting story. I was gripped literally from start to finish. I literally finished this entire book within 24 hours. And it wasn't that it wasn't fast paced either, because it is literally 270 pages. You can tell by the length of the book, sort of the pacing of it. And obviously because this is under 300 pages, it's got to have a start, a middle and an end within that time. So obviously it had to be fast paced. There was a lot of stuff jam packed into this. The one thing that I will say though is on the back, on the blurb, it does say that this certain plot point is going to happen, but you sort of figure out the entire plot point by the middle or maybe 60% of the way through the book. And I feel like if that storyline was dragged on a little bit longer, I probably would have enjoyed the book a little bit more. Because it is so short, it could have dragged on that plot a little bit longer. They needed to solve it to figure out what was happening in the rest of the book, but I don't know, I think I preferred the first 50% storyline a lot more than I preferred the last. I'm not 100% sure if that takes into consideration why I've lowered my rating a little bit, but yeah. But overall, I did enjoy this book. I was definitely hooked all the way through. Would not have finished this within 24 hours if I didn't enjoy it, 100,000,000%. I think the fact that it was written in third person did put me off just a little bit at the start, but it's bound to happen. It's nice to change it up a little bit. But based off of like the gasping thing, I feel like, obviously as I said before, I feel like I didn't gasp enough, which I can understand if this book was like an actual just normal mystery book, because you just sort of figure out things along with the main character. And yes, it was a thriller, but it wasn't as psychologically challenging as I wanted it to be. I like my thrillers to literally be disgusting. I like there to be gross things. I like there to be just things that I'm gonna sit there and think, what the hell? Like, what is going on? How can someone even think that in their mind? But I feel like with this book, it kind of missed that a little bit. There was definitely elements, but I feel like maybe a little bit more shock factor could have gone into this book, and that definitely would have bumped it up a 1/2 star rating, maybe to a 4 star. I do recommend it though. I know I haven't said like 100% positive things throughout the way through, but definitely do recommend if you want to read it. And it is, again, just a short, fast-paced thriller. You can literally get it done in like a day. Come here, say hello. She looks so scraggy. You're beautiful. Let's say goodbye, shall we? I bet she won't stay there. So obviously I rated Fourth Wing a 4.5 star and I rated The Street 3.5. Oh, she's left me already. So obviously I rated Fourth Wing a 4.5 star and I rated The Street 3.5, which is a basic reflection of what the average ratings were. I think they literally were a 4.5 and a 3.5. So it goes to show the actual views and opinions that matter for these ratings, because I feel like I agreed with the majority here. Obviously just because this was rated lower doesn't mean it was a worse book, doesn't make it bad, and just because this was rated really high doesn't make it really, really good either. That is the thing about reading, it is very subject to opinion. I know people that have read either of these books, especially Fourth Wing, and they've absolutely hated it. They've literally rated it 1 star. So there you go. Just because it's rated high doesn't mean it's good. But I'm going to say goodbye to this video here. If you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and all that other YouTube stuff, and I will see you in my next one. Thanks for watching.